Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this conference call regarding the latest developments with the bid from One Vision Biogas and the subsequent press releases that we've sent out the last couple of days. Presenting today will be our CEO, Matti Vikkula, and the Chairman of the Board, Anders Bengtsson. This call is also being recorded and will be made available later after this call through our website. If you have any questions, we ask you to hold on to them and ask them later after the presentation. And you are also welcome to use the chat function to send your questions through there. With that, I give the floor over to Matti. Well, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Heidi, and welcome also from my side to this information meeting related to the latest events related to the Biokraft company. And today we focus on the status, latest status with the public offer, as well as the bond and the forthcoming shareholders meeting. I would like to assure that everybody are on mute so that we don't have any background noises, please. So, as mentioned, we as a company, in a nutshell, we are having around 0.5 terawatt capacity, aiming to reach 3 terawatt hours 2030. Total income last year a bit more than 500 million Swedish crowns. We are around 100 people together. We have 3 sites in Sweden operational, 1 in Norway, 1 in Korea, and the 4th one in Sweden under construction. Aim is strongly to grow, and now we are in a situation where we are looking for next phase with this development, taking the company forward. Given the public offer now launched by around 1 month ago by One Vision Biogas. So this is the background from the business perspective, and let's go to the transactional information. And I'll give the word to Anders Bengtsson, please.
Yes. My name is Anders Bengtsson, and I'm the chairman of the board, and I will give you a short overview of what Matti just said. Our 2 largest shareholders, Aneo, owned by High-Tech Vision and Trönder Energy, and ST1, have combined their shares into newly formed company, One Vision Biogas. They have stated that they are doing this to become an even more focused and committed owner in Biokraft, but also because they see great potential in our company and in the industry as a whole. Their ownership in the new company will be 50% each, and the merger will result in 55% ownership in Biokraft, and thereby passing the 50% barrier, which leads to a mandatory bid for the company. And the price, as you well know, will be 20.65 kronor per share. At the same time as this, a change of control event is also triggered when passing the 50% barrier, in accordance with the terms of the company's bond. And this means that the bondholders who choose to put their bonds have the right to have them refinanced. And the plan was that this would be refinanced in 2026, possibly in 2025 at earliest, but now they must be refinanced earlier, already in May of this year. And our CEO will take you through the details over this. A little background regarding the issue and the growth plan. We have ambition targets for 2024, 2026 and 2030 that is quite ambitious to meet the demand for biogas. We are currently working with several development projects in Sweden, in Germany, and have a very nice pipeline of both projects in the development phase and incoming projects. And for this, we need additional capital. At the same time as this, as I mentioned, already beginning of May, we also need to refinance the bonds that are put due to the change of the control clause in the bond terms. This means that there will be a preferential issue of up to 650 million. At the same time, an authorization of up to an additional 150 million for the development of existing facilities and for further growth and expansion. And taking this into account, we have made a statement from the board, a recommendation. And what we have had to consider is that the terms of the offer, the price per share, do not reflect the company's fundamental value going forward. At the same time as there is a great economic uncertainty in our world around us, the proposed right issue is large and will require significant capital from the shareholders to maintain their ownership shares. Therefore, the shareholders need to take their investment horizon into account and think carefully about the risk tolerance and the possibility of investing more capital into the company. It is also important to know that One Vision Biogas, by this, may become a dominant shareholders, which may negatively affect the liquidity of the share. It depends on how large they will become, and that is for the moment a bit uncertain. So with that in mind, our recommendation from the board is that shareholders with a short-term investment horizon and or a lower risk tolerance and unwillingness to invest additional capital should accept the offer. On the other hand, those of you who see this as a long-term investment and have both the opportunity and the will to invest more capital into the company should carefully consider remaining as shareholders and continue to invest in the company's growth journey ahead. And with that said, I hand over to you, Matti. You can go through more the details and we are happy to answer questions afterward.
Very good, Anders. Thank you very much for the clear walkthrough and message. In terms of the contemplated share issues, which at this point of time are proposals for the extraordinary general meeting, the bigger size of the proposal is up to 650 million Swedish crowns, and that is focused for the repurchase of those bonds, which will be triggered. And actually, in a way, it would be favorable, perhaps, for the company perspective to assure that also any potential remaining part of the bond would convert so that we would have an additional flexibility. So it's in a way assumed that the bond as such would be converted in or repaid in whole. And in order to be able to do that, then the 650 million Swedish crowns share issue would be then executed in full size. This share issue is based on subscription rights, meaning that all shareholders have the right to participate pro rata. And it is expected that after the planned extraordinary general meeting, according to plan, we believe that in the beginning of April, on the 4th of April, Board of Directors would be able to confirm the detailed terms for this share issue. And the expected subscription period would be from 12th of April to 6th of April. This is as it looks like currently. The other part of the share issue or other mandate would be related to a share issue up to 150 million Swedish crowns, and this could be either a rights-based share issue, or it could be also a so-called directed share issue from the legal perspective. The main plan now and main idea would be that it would be a upsizing for those 650, so that they combined would be 800 as a say a share issue in total. However, then it's of course up to the shareholders meeting to decide which way to go and what mandates to confirm. This 150 million share issue mandate would then also replace the existing current one, which we have up to 10% of the shares roughly. So this is the key terms or key information for these two proposed share issues as we know today. More to follow then, of course, after the shareholders meeting when board is able to confirm the details. In terms of One Vision Biogas commitments, they are currently the largest shareholder with 55% stake in the company, and they have committed themselves to subscribe pro rata in the rights issue, the first one, 650. And that applies for the stake they own today, 55%, plus any additional stake or shares coming in as part of their ongoing offer period. So those shares will come on top of this 55% stake. On top of that, One Vision Biogas has also granted to cover the rest of the rights issue, not subscribed by others. However, they will then be entitled to have a 2% fee, which is aligned with market practice. They have also confirmed and committed to vote for the rights issue in the forthcoming extraordinary shareholders meeting in late March. And of course, then what is needed is a change of the articles of the association in order to then be able to increase the number of shares in order to accommodate the share issues. And One Vision Biogas has also committed to support the rights issues to board so that the mandates can be confirmed. So these are the key dimensions related to One Vision Biogas commitments. And then what does this mean from the shareholding perspective and number of shares perspective? Given the sizable share issue, combined potentially 800, it's more or less doubling the equity value of the company. So it will also have material impact for the number of shares, which currently is 43.6 million shares roughly. And as you can see that the proposed min-max levels as for shares after the share issue is from 174 million shares to even up to 700 million shares almost. So this is something which is also proposed to the shareholders meeting, and that would then enable the overall share issue up to 800 million Swedish crowns. Regarding the reporting timeline and key action points, the extraordinary general meeting will be held in Stockholm World Trade Center on 27th of March, 10 a.m. We expect a board of directors to be able to resolve the rights issue, the details, on 4th of April. And thus we would be able to publish the prospectus and confirm the record date on 11th of April. That is then, of course, subject to the final approval from the financial authorities related to the prospectus, according to market practice and regulation. Expected subscription period for the rights issue is from 12th to 26th April, and the expected outcome or expected announcement of the outcome is last day of April the 30th. And given this time schedule for the share issue, we need to postpone our Q1 report, and the new date is 31st May. And this is coming from the regulatory requirements that we cannot have simultaneously the closed windows and have a share issue ongoing. Therefore, the date is postponed to last day of May. Thus, the summary and outlook overall, we as a company continue growing within the green tech space. We are producing bioenergy and also leveraging and using the rich nutriments we have in our organic wastes. This is the key ambition, key industrial concept we have. There is a clear growth plan with a identified very attractive growth opportunities in the Northern European market, and these are something we want to pursue and support, and assuming that the shareholders will also confirm the two share issues, 650 and 150, and those can be executed. That will then enhance the overall financing structure of the group, so that also when adding the leverage as of debt capital or debt capital facility, we see that the company is able to take the next important step and even launched an initial new investment project in Sweden. So therefore we see that this is also well positioned to capitalize the opportunities and creating value for the company as a whole. So I think that this was my last slide as well. So we are pleased to take any of your questions, either Anders or myself. And I think then, Heidi, please take over in terms of leading our Q&A session.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for the presentation. If you have any questions, please either use the Teams functionality of raising your hand or use the chat function to send in your questions, and I will read them out loud. There are no raised hands and nothing in the chat.
Okay. Any comment, any question? Yes, that's good.
Seconds.
Okay, but then if there aren't any more additional, okay.
We do have one. Raif?
Yep. I was wondering, as I understand from your statement, you said that in the long run, if you are a long-term investor, then this offer price 20 crowns 65, it's not attractive. So when you determine the issue price, which will be at 4th of April, does this mean that if you say that this 20 crowns 65 is not attractive enough in long run, then the issue price must be higher? Or how should I interpret that?
Anders, any reflection from the board side?
But from a minority perspective, perhaps it would have been great if that would be correct, but this will be set on market price. So we don't really know at this point of time what the issue price will be. But it will be market terms that will decide the price for the issue. And it will also be related to sort of a negotiation or a confirmation between the financial advisor for the company and also the financial advisor for One Vision Biogas. So we have to come back to that actually. And at this point of time, I ask you to try and figure out also a bit yourself what type of share price it will be. Matti, you can perhaps add something.
I think that it's I mean the common practice is of course when you do rights issue that there is a certain kind of depending on the relationship with old shares and new shares and how the subscription rights are structured. There is normally so defined a so-called technical value for the new share after the share issue, and compared to the technical value, there is very commonly a rebate which is related to the market practice, and I would assume that will be also the case in Biokraft case as well. But it's exactly as Anders described, it's going to be a subject to a mutual agreement between the parties and related to the market prices and market practice. Would also like to add here, given the fact that the share issue is sizable, this will imply for the shareholders that each of the shareholders need to take and have to take a position in one way or the other in order to assure that any of the value of the share is not vanishing in form of the subscription rights not being used. So this is very important that each of the shareholders really consider what is the reasonable and best way for each of us to take this forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that an answer to your question?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. Okay.
Yeah.
We can also add that we have really tried from the board point of view to get this issue price set in advance for you to consider, but we have not been able to reach that solution, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a question in the chat. Do you have any opinion on One Vision's chances to be successful in the bid? They have made it clear that they are legally bound to put out the bid. Have they signaled that they really want to take ownership and delist the company?
No, they have not stated that clearly. Not at all, actually. On the other hand, it's not very clear to us also if there is if there is their plan originally. We cannot really answer that question, but they have not stated that. No, not at all.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? It appears that we have no more questions. In that case, we want to thank you for your participation and good luck in deciding going forward. And please do not hesitate to reach out to us if we have any outstanding questions that we can answer for you. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.